So it's a valid question. Where have I been? What have I been doing? And why have I never posted again? Well, I'm gonna tell you why. So let's take it back a little bit to 2021. So I moved to Dallas, and that's kind of where I left you off. You see, the Lord had to deal with a lot of different things in my heart about how much I was striving, how much I cared about numbers, how I was more important with meeting with Him and finding revelation so I could share it with you than actually meeting with Him. And so during this time, I read The Reset by Jeremy Riddle. Again, I tell you, if you're not ready to let go of what you think makes your identity, don't read the book. Also, pretty much the Bible will tell you to let go of everything because He's a jealous God. So this video is more to catch you up and to let you know where I've been and what I've been doing and why I haven't been around. So what happened in Loved and Found? Can I tell you that I really did feel from the Lord like I should start it, and then by the time I got to Dallas and my whole life got flipped upside down, I felt like I should lay it down. So I'm gonna catch you up. I moved to Dallas in 2021. Everything was going great. I was still making posts, still doing devotionals, still doing a lot of things when I noticed just how involved and invested I was with numbers, shares, likes. And it was something that I had seen other influencers talk about and I had never paid attention to. I said, well, the Lord called me to this and my heart is in the right place. Let me tell you that it probably wasn't, because it was really hard to lay it down. And it was really hard to think about what I would do and who I would be without it. And that's how it brought me to today. So by the time I got to Dallas, I was really burnt out from ministry and just about ready to step out of it completely and be done. And I was gonna go back into production, do makeup, do hair, do styling, which I did that for a little bit when I moved to Dallas. And eventually the Lord called me back and He placed me in Braveheart Ministries, which is amazing and the reason why I can come back today. So while in Braveheart, I really understood and began to see the revelation of the fullness of the gospel. Not just that Jesus had died for me and I was going to heaven, but also that He was praying for me, that He's getting me ready, that He's coming back, and that in abiding, I don't have to strive. It did mean a journey of laying everything I thought I knew down and allowing Him to shepherd me and guide me. So I became the social media strategist for Braveheart, because the Lord is really kind and will put the lonely in families. And so once He did that, I was there for a bit, and there was one unanswered prayer that I did not think it would come the way it did. So most of you know I had been praying for my husband. I'm 31 years old and recently married. Yay! Here's a clip of Derek and I during the wedding. And if you'd like to check out our wedding vlog, you can at Til Kingdom Come. But I'll go back. I haven't even told you about that. So I was working there and the Lord began to show me how we're not supposed to be slaves to content. How we really can't just look for His hand when it comes to revelation just to share it with others, but actually in relationship to grow with Him. So that made me lay everything down and just dedicate myself to growing up into the image of Christ, helping others do the same, and work for somebody else's ministry, which was so wonderful. So I was doing that for a while and began to see that I wanted to get back on my Instagram, but this time I didn't want it to look curated. I really didn't want to go after the same things I was doing. I didn't want to look at the likes or the follows or anything else. And let me tell you now, spoiler alert, as you can see, I've gone back to some of it, and I still have to fight those tendencies of understanding that if I have the audience of one, the approval of Him, and what I'm doing is out of obedience, sharing with you the revelation, then I'm in the right space. However, if I'm not, I don't doubt it that the Lord will make me lay it down again. But the reason why I'm telling you this is because honestly, it humbles me to have to come back before you and apologize and say, hey, I was here for the wrong reasons for a little bit, but I'm back because the Lord has asked me to. Which brings me to today. So pretty much I was moved into a different position at Braveheart and met my wonderful husband, Derek. He has been leading an international missions organization. Now I get to jump on and co-lead it. And honestly, it's an answered prayer, because before I even moved to Dallas, and if you know me from Mississippi, you know this, I was all about missions, all about traveling, all about evangelism. And now I get to include bringing the presence, teaching others how to minister to Him, and how to minister to others from an abundance and an overflow in relationship. And now I get to write devotionals as He writes books. We get to disciple people. We get to do a million other things, as well as Til Kingdom Come, which is our personal brand, I guess you would call it, which is vlogs and podcasts in which we want to prepare the bride for His return. He has God Set Me Free Himself, which are His messages, and He's writing books about sonship and identity and testimony and marriage, which we are only like 19 days into it, but we're confident that the Lord is leading us. And in that, I miss Loved Unfound. I miss writing. I miss reaching out to you guys. I miss sharing my heart and inspiring others to really find who they are in Him and to grow into their identity as sons and daughters as they begin to get before Him. And so the Lord had told me with my marriage would come the fullness of my calling. And boy, was He right. So the exciting news is I had always had this dream to travel in a van. And actually for about 4 years. But I had completely laid it down thinking that there would never be a person that would do it with me. And today I come to you letting you know that someone has gifted us a motorhome that we're picking up in California in January and renovating when we come back to Dallas, so that we can start touring the States and going around and being a traveling tabernacle. We want to take God's presence all around the nation and show people who He is, how to minister to Him, light them up with the fullness of the gospel, and send them off into sonship to be missionaries wherever they go. So that's kind of where my heart is at. That's what we've been doing. I think if you were to ask me today, what is the Lord speaking, I would probably tell you that I should be aware of His return. And not because I'm gloom and doom and telling you that He's coming back right now, which He might, but because the disciples really did live their lives as if He was coming back every day. They had just seen Him ascend. And I want to live that way, whether it's worship, prayer, reading my Bible, or sharing with you, that we would be aware that He's coming soon. That He's coming back, and He's coming back for a bride that is spotless and clean. And so we have to know Him to be like Him. And so I want to re-invite you into Loved and Found. I also want to apologize for leaving, hence the video, but allow you into a space of my heart that shows you exactly where I've been and why, and to tell you that it's okay, that if He tells me to lay it down again, I would do it in a heartbeat, because it changed my relationship with Him. It changed the way I live my life, and it's now led me to a brand new journey. And so I want to invite you along and let you know that I love you, and I'm so grateful that you're here. And if you decide not to stay, then I still love you, and I'm grateful that you were here. So let me know what you think. Write back, email back. I'll be praying for you. We'd love to hear from you.